So why aren't more of us educated? We've got the entire internet at our disposal, and we can learn almost anything for free. There's books, courses, blog posts, you name it. You can learn anything you want. And it's all free. But there's some problems with this. One is that it's hard to be consistent. When you're taking a class, you've either paid money for it or you have a grade that's dependent on your performance in the class. And so you've got pressure pushing you forward to continue learning the information. But when you're on your own, there's no pressure. So it's up to you to stick to it, which is one of the hardest things. You can ask questions. When you're in a class, there's professors and other students with you who you can ask if you don't understand something. But when you're online, there's no one there to ask. But really, there are tons of people. You just have to find them online. You can search for something on Google and possibly find an answer, or you can find a community of people and ask them. Online information offers no prerequisites. It's very easy to start reading something you want to learn and realize that you don't know any of it. You don't even have a context or a background to understand it. The great thing about this, though, is that if there's something you don't understand, you can dive deeper into it until you do understand it and revisit the original topic. Another problem with online learning is there's no proof. When you take a class, you get a transcript of grades, you get a degree, you can put it on your resume, there are projects you've done. But I would argue that you can create as much proof as you want that you understand something without having to pay for it or have a degree. You can do a project and publish it to show your understanding. You can create a blog post or a YouTube video. There's a ton of things you can do to show that you understand information, to show to other people as well, and even put on your resume. The first learning hack that I want to share is overcoming intimidation and being overwhelmed. When you encounter a new topic, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and intimidated because there's a lot of terms and vocabulary that you don't understand. But if you revisit the information and continue diving deeper and deeper down, eventually you'll hit a point where you do understand it. Which brings me to learning hack number 2. If you can overcome being overwhelmed and intimidated and continue to revisit the information, all you need to do is break it down. So taking new acronyms that you've never heard before or new vocabulary and breaking it into parts. So literally just taking each part of the acronym or vocabulary and searching for it individually. Figuring out what each individual part means and then summing them back up. When you break it apart, you may still not understand any of it. So you may have to break it apart further. But I guarantee you can continue breaking it down until eventually you'll hit a point where you reach a familiar topic that you do understand very well. And then you can compose it back together until you get back to your original point. Learning hack number 3, change it up. There's blog posts, YouTube videos, online courses, any number of things that you can use to learn something new. And you don't have to stick to one. When you're taking a class, you have to be in that class. You have to read the book. You have to take the tests. When you're online, you're free. You can do whatever you want. You can take the class. Simultaneously, you can watch YouTube videos for things you don't understand. You can read blog posts about it. Obviously, you can do all this stuff in class too. But when you're learning something online, you can remove that stress and that pressure and just feel free to explore the information. Learning hack number 4, be consistent. This is the hardest one, but it's also the most important. Just like going to the gym, you can't get buff in one day. You can work out as much as you want throughout the day, 24 hours straight if you wanted to, but you're still not going to get buff or even lose weight. You have to be consistent. Your body takes time to change at a cellular and biological level. And the same is true with your brain. When you sleep, the connections in your brain get strengthened between things that you've learned that day. And it makes it that much easier to approach the information again the next day. And this is really how you develop a deep understanding of something, just continually revisiting it. It seems obvious, but most people don't do it. We just give up on it because it's too hard to understand, or there's too much that they don't know. Fifth and final learning hack I wanted to share. Get hands-on. Do a project, write a blog post, create a YouTube video. All of these things are tangible. You can show them to others to prove that you understand the information. Not only that, you can teach it to others. That's the greatest part to me, is that once you learn something, you can share it with other people and teach them. Not only does this reinforce your own understanding of the information, but it also gives you some proof. Things you can put on your resume, things you can show to people. These are real, tangible artifacts that you've created that prove your understanding of what you've learned and might even help others. Those are all the learning hacks I wanted to share today, and the pleasure's been all mine. Thank you.